that, or are they going to lose that challenge? I mean, there's a lot of different variations involved, but again, it just all has to do with the same exact corner of the map. And here, as we get into the match, we'll see exactly how things play out. It is that northwest corner everything's going to be taking place on, and we will be seeing Blackbeard, Ash, Sledge, Hibana, and Twitch coming out for the attacking squad. That is eXcellence. And then we are going to be seeing Bandit, Jaeger, Smoke, Pulse, and Mira coming out for the defensive squad on Continuum.
Yeah, and with Continuum, the choices that we've seen here kind of show me that the meta hasn't changed. We've seen the same stuff. We see Pulse getting chosen underneath. The one thing that's different than Flipside's hold is instead of there's no mute. They've also not opted to go with a Valkyrie, but at the same time, they are bringing that Jaeger. They are bringing the Bandit.
And the C4 for, on that Pulse from underneath is, again, the Flipside was bringing that. However, you know, like that C4 for Pulse underneath is pretty stable to what we expect to see on this particular defense. Based on the operator selection, it's likely we won't see very much contention in the piano itself. However, the drop down being opened means that Jaeger looks like he's going to play in piano until he's pressured so hard that he has to leave. And then as soon as he leaves the piano room, as you can see from that hole that was opened up right in front of piano door to Cigar, he will be able to challenge onto Cigar from underneath piano, which is going to be a really interesting fight for NVK to take.
Now, Fox has bolted up to the top of the roof. Within 20 seconds, he was up here. Now, that's going to be very useful because then it stops a lot of rotation. If he might be able to catch one of the defenders off guard if they were late to getting to their position.
We've seen it happen before in Pro League matches where there's a player who's rummaging around in bar trying to establish himself, and then, oh no, the skylight, I'm dying.
You said, oh no, at the perfect time there. I thought he was going to die by the Claymore for a second. I was like, he just rappelled down onto the Claymore.
Yeah, a little bit of a brain fart. This Jaeger getting taken out is actually going to be very significant going into this rest of this attack round. That barbed wire being able to, again, be taken out from the Ash charge later in the round is going to help them a lot. NVK has forced himself back into this corner, and he isn't going to be able to win this fight against Geo in all likelihood, as Geo's got a shield in front of his face, which means he also cannot utilize the drop down being open, and he equally cannot utilize that hole that was made in the bottom of piano earlier to challenge onto Cigar, as Fox A is the one progressing up in Cigar now.
Yep, so Fox is going to push his way into Cigar Lounge. NVK able to just dash past the bullets. He's now heading down white stairs, looking like he might try to rotate around. Gas grenade from Smoke. That's Necrox is going to push back Fox. Looks like he's taking about half of his life away.
The attackers have established the control that they really need going into this attack. However, they haven't managed to pick off any of the defenders yet, and they have spent a great deal of time doing so. Now they're poised, but at the same time, they are going to have to execute perfectly in order to beat a team like Continuum as they push in. That mirror window that Necrox has to play with is actually going to give them a really good position to anchor on.
NVK coming up, though, from the flank. Looks on up through the hole that was made in the wall up to the drop pad. Able to take down Geo as Jarvis and Canadian will fall to Fox and Maman. Now Fox is moving his way into the bar. He's looking in towards Freezer. Necrox, if he peeks himself out a little bit more towards the white stairs, he will be poked out by Fox. Now a 3-on-4 is going to ensue. 30 seconds left to go, and it looks as though Diffuser's in the hands of Brian, but NVK is going to stop my man from moving forward. Fox is still trying to catch out who's going to be over here by the cocktail lounge. Looks like Flashbang's going to go flying. BC's going to fall after he tries to get one kill, but Necrox will take him down and then be traded up by Gurmy. Diffuser does get planted. Fox has been injured. No, he's not. He's still got one health and a dream out there by the Freezer. Gurmy's now trying to get him. Has he been injured? No, he has been injured. Okay. He has been injured, and therefore the only attacker left alive is Gurmy. He was successfully got on outside very quickly, and now he's back up to the roof to try to take an angle here to make sure that the diffuser will not be destroyed. BC's going to try to hold it down as his buddy goes for the diffuser. Looks as though they are going to go for the hit here. Gurmy still looking. He's just going to poke on up, goes for the shot, but he misses, and it looks as though we will have Continuum take home their first round.
If there's any one player you can rely on to cover you as you attempt that defuse, it's going to be NVK. Hitting that perfectly timed shot onto the Twitch was well played. I mean, it was good. It was good on Twitch to put himself in that position too.
Yep.
Like the reads were excellent. However, just can't win that fight, unfortunately, and because of that, well, actually, technically he traded, to be fair, but he still didn't win the fight.
Yeah.
But anyway, the round overall as a whole played out how we really expected it to. It was a little bit closer than I was honestly expecting. It seemed like Continuum had a really good position to hold there. However, it kept eXcellence kept trading back and forth, so good on them to put themselves in the potential victory.
They did do very well, and Fox being able to get into the bar and stay there for what I would say would be a long duration was kind of something that I was like, Continuum.
Well, the way Continuum was holding that was super, I hate to say retake again, but they were kind of set up in a retake. I mean, we saw a mirror window on that east wall in the mirror, in the freezer, looking into freezer. So Continuum were expecting the attackers to take control of freezer, to push in hard, and eXcellence gauged themselves properly and didn't do that level of aggression. They only took what they needed, they got the diffuser plant, and then they backed off. Unfortunately for them, Continuum were really good at retakes, and it just didn't work out well enough for them.
Now Fox is going to throw a cam very similar to what we saw Hot and Cold doing previously in this series, and they have opted to go for that mute like we saw Mint going. So they aren't not going to pick up the Pulse, they're not going to go for the Bandit. Instead, is looking all similar to a flip side hold.
And we'll see if it works out similarly. First round, Flipside did this strategy, they lost it. Second round, they had a spectacular ace from Mint. BC is going to be challenging onto the mute from those west windows, just looking for that angle, not likely to find it.
Reloading!
Let's see what happens. Yes, be careful of a run out here. The mute could simply just press spacebar, put himself in a good position to get the kill, but I don't think Gio's going to take that risk.
Yeah, he's sitting in a good position right now. I mean, the piano wall towards the top of red has not been opened up yet, so he's here just wasting time, making sure that it's not going to go in favor of the attackers. Fox, however, is also going to take the fate of this round into his own hands, taking out NVK as the sledge.
Yeah, we all know NVK to be one of those players you want to have picked off early, so him being off the board here is going to put eXcellence in a very good position, especially considering they still have piano control with only half the round left to go. Jarvis going to thermite that open, but he's got to deal with the C4.
C4 goes, and Jarvis will fall as Gio is just going to back on over here now. While he will most likely just stay here for the time being, he has the option to pump on out of the window. Looks as though BC is going to go for the shots, and now that's making him feel like he's got to run out. So Gio will fall. He's going to come back inside, looking for the shots there on the BC, who's repelled upside down. He's going to get back up to the roof, make his way into the connector of Bakery. And there will be the escape that Gio was looking for. Canadian will take that deagle to Fox, it looks like. No, sorry, Canadian was not taking the Blackbeard, so he didn't have the deagle, but instead we will see that SMG-11 kill, and that will make it Continuum. Last man alive is going to be BC. He's here inside of the cigar shop. He is disoriented. He saw one shot there. He goes for the kill. He gets one disoriented here. Now, can he hold it off? He's got to look for this yokai. If not, the yokai is going to get its shots recharged, and therefore BC will just be in a never-ending loop of disorientation. Brian's going to be here inside of that bar backstore, inside of the freezer. BC now moving on forward. He's just getting called out here. Gio waiting for the shots. He's being told right to the side. Will he go for the shot? He's going to hold the softer angle. BC not feeling, and there's going to be the softer angle. Gio gets the kill on BC. We're going to see eXcellence take home round number 2.
That was some really well gauged aggression from eXcellence, only peeking what they needed to, and at the perfect moment, you almost saw Blackbeard get picked off on the window as he was repelled, attempting to chase down one of the other defenders who ran out on him. However, he narrowly escaped with his life. Overall, just good defense of the top floor from eXcellence. I mean, they held their line firm in the sand on the floor itself, and then meanwhile, they also had to maintain control over the piano for the majority of the round as a whole. And you know, again, kind of what we expect. When we saw Flipside versus Omen earlier today, it was the case that the Omen only were successful in defending that top floor. So the real question is who's going to be successful in defending this floor, the train room. This is definitely the more difficult site to hold.
Yeah, one of the things I'm thinking about from that previous round, Gio had hopped out of the piano room down onto the bakery window or bakery roof, went on over to bakery, and what I'm thinking about is how much rotation you can have on this map, even when you might be outnumbered or when the attackers have control of one stairwell or another, because being at the very top of the floor, able to go all the way down and then come all the way back up into the bathroom where you got the final kill there onto Blackbeard is like, how couldn't you pinch him off? And that's one of the benefits of this map being for defenders. You have a lot of versatility with rotation.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Attackers dropped the diffuser. Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Now, it is going to be curious to see how Continuum choose to defend this. Are they going to be investing extremely heavily in the top floor? Are they going to be investing in the site? Are they simply going to go for the retake strategy, playing in reading? Only time will tell. Right now, they do have two, I believe, defenders upstairs. Canadian looking for the C4 through the drop down. Looks like he is going to barely miss it. Gio going to be able to run past that, unfortunately, for Canadian. And it looks like the attackers... Ooh, NVK kills Gio on the top of the cooler. Or the AC unit, or whatever that is, the ventilation unit.
That's gonna be quite a kill and actually prevent, or at least make eXcellence hesitate before getting back up there. However, Fox, being the courageous Ash that he is just gonna say, okay, let's time to push in and go for a kill here. Yeah, so NVK, he was playing directly underneath the skylight because he knew it was almost certain that somebody... Ooh, Canadian, meanwhile, is going to pick off Brian now, a 5-on-3. It's looking pretty bad for eXcellence. They have Gurmy playing out on this balcony. They're looking for some sort of control, but they're not likely to find it. Fox has taken control of the red stairs at least. However, that's not really much to work with. Canadian, playing underneath the red stairs, is going to be able to, with that pulse sensor, is going to be able to gauge his push perfectly. NVK is still upstairs. I mean, there's not a lot of ground covered here from eXcellence. Yeah, now Fox is making his way here towards NVK. My man's going to drone out NVK here momentarily. Will Fox go for the immediate push? Will not. He's going to go for a little bit of a slower, and NVK's already fallen downstairs into the laundry room. Yeah, that's good on NVK to read that situation. All right, there's a drone. There's probably a player behind it. I don't need to fight this. I don't want to fight this. Let's keep the man advantage, keep the time advantage, and there's only 1 minute left for these remaining 3 eXcellence players to make this push happen. Yeah, see, Gurmy's in quite a predicament at the moment, because if he comes into that second floor hallway by the red stairs, he now needs to worry about his left, in front of him, behind him. There are about 5 different angles that Blackbeard has to look at, and Blackbeard is tremendous at looking at one direction, one angle. Yeah. Going up against 5, his shield is useless. However, it looks as though Fox found the one angle onto BC that he needed to and taken out BC's head. Now it's a 4-on-3. 30 seconds left to go. Canadian will take down Gurmy. There's that 5-angle charade that he was looking for. And we will have Necrox picking off the SMG-11 kill on my man as Fox gets another kill there on a Canadian. That is, I believe, 2 kills for Fox. He needs to get 3 more. It's a 3-on-1. He will pick off no one as NVK comes poking around from the reading room to just take out Fox, and we'll have Continuum securing round number 3. So, eXcellence. They lost the fight upstairs, and then they lost the fight downstairs, pretty much. I mean, if you can't take control of the top floor as an attacking squad going into a train attack, it doesn't really matter what else you do. I mean, NVK was allowed to stay upstairs for 2 whole minutes, get a pick, and then walk away until later lock out the round on that final kill on the Fox A. Yep. And there's not really much else to talk about. I mean, taking top floor is the step numero uno, and if you can't get it done, then step numero dos and tres don't really follow. Yeah, this is one of the things that if you're going for a top-down approach, which most teams do, you need to make it a top-down approach. Exactly, yeah. So now we are going to be seeing CTM thrust onto the same exact attack that we just saw eXcellence fail. Now, it could go the same way. As, again, this is the sort of thing that if you can't take the top, it is going to be a struggle. We aren't seeing a Mira, which is kind of interesting. A lot of teams, when they're defending both of the floors, will bring the Mira to put in the freezer. Neither of these teams opting to do that. And a castle, in fact, for eXcellence. I wonder where those barricades will be used. Interesting. At least one of them is used on the east door. Now this is looking similar to how we saw Flipside try to set this up with keeping men off site as much as possible. We might be having Brian and Gurmy on site. It's likely we're going to see Gurmy stay on the site. I'm not sure about Brian. Nope. Who knows? Only time will tell. He's going to get his reinforcements down, and then we'll see what he does. But at least Gurmy will likely be sitting on the site. One player makes a little bit of sense. I mean, you can have, you know, some coverage of the site without having to force a full retake. 2 players I'm not so sure about. However, Gurmy is playing in B, which is a little bit safer. We'll see how exactly it plays out for eXcellence, though, going into this round. Only time will tell. They still have 2 players invested very heavily upstairs, and they are going to have to contend with BC repelling on this south window. If CTM has a player, or sorry, eXcellence has a player in a good position to run out on the white garage, we could see BC getting picked off right here. Now, Gio is on that second floor red carpet. Jarvis, however, will be droning out the rest of Piano. Blackbeard has secured the rotation. He's on that, like you said, the south window looking in towards Cigar. NVK is going to have the freedom to come on in. but they haven't necessarily cleared out the rest of the top 4. Fox is going to be inside of Freezer. My man's going to be on the back of the white stairs.
You can see the way that CTM is clearing this. They are systematically taking one chunk of the top floor at a time, not trying to risk anything unnecessarily. That Fox A spray, unfortunately, not going to find anyone for him.
I think that was an unfortunate fallback. I don't know if he totally meant that, but instead he will take advantage of to get back onto site. BC still working his way inside of the cigar lounge. He's in piano now. Now they have used up about 2 minutes of their time, and only 3 out of the 5 members of Continuum are actually in the building. 4 now, as Canadian falls in.
Yeah, but all the same, Continuum do have full control of the top floor, and they haven't lost anyone in the process. That's a little bit better of a step than what we saw from eXcellence last round, so this might be all they need to make the round go in their favor.
Fox A heard the steps above him from NVK. Now the question is, will NVK fall, or will he go down the stairs? It looks as though he will decide to pursue the avenue of down the stairs, as Fox is still looking for someone to drop here. Gurmy's going to be inside of that B fireplace site with 35 seconds to go. Still not much action. It's a 5-on-5 still, and there's literally 1/6 of the round remaining.
Only 27 seconds left with 5v5. That is crazy.
Now Fox will be tagged down for the count. He gets spotted and gets picked off by NVK. And that's going to be the first man down of this round. However, BC still managing to work his way into the reading room hallway. Gurmy gets taken out by Canadian, who fell on into sight. And that's going to be Geo taking out BC. So a 4-on-3 diffuser gets planted. Geo gets one as my man gets another. Now there's only 2 left here for Continuum. It's Canadian and Jarvis, as Jarvis finally gets his first kill of the game here. And that's going to be Brian falling to the bullets. So a 2-on-2. Now you've got our Jaeger underneath. That's my man. He's going to try to come up from the kitchen, from the half stairs, trying to catch someone inside of the middle hallway. Jarvis is working his way inside of the mining room, waiting for Geo to make a push. They're going to have to go together here because Jarvis has one angle down. And they also have Canadian, who's flashing around. I believe he's going to be inside of the train. Looks as though he's going to be on the tucked away. Geo gets one. Can he get the other? He does, and it's going to be eXcellence trying to get this clutch, and they will successfully get it. And it's going to go to a 2-2 now as round 4 goes in favor of eXcellence Gaming.
Interesting, a very well-timed retake there from a man and whomever was playing Castle to bring themselves back into that round. Continuum, they had full control. Strategically, they won the round overall. They took top floor 5v5 with a minute left to go. A minute left is more than they need to work with. Then they got the first 2 picks of the round, first 2 kills of the round, I should say, to put themselves in a great position. However, eXcellence started fighting back, and they fought back hard, winning, I think, a 3 versus 5.
Yep.
So well played to them, as well as getting that last second retake. That was just some great individual play coming out from eXcellence. Strategically, it went to Continuum.
So with that, we now have round counts back in par with even count, 2-2 now. Continuum's going to go opt to go back upstairs, which is obviously the more favored spot. You're not going to see them go down to the basement. That's not what you'll typically see any team do.
Yeah.
So,
and you're seeing both these teams. I mean, they're being successful in their upstairs defense, and they're not being successful in their train defense. So we might see a little bit of a pattern sort of build here. If Continuum managed to win this, and then you're going to see eXcellence win the same exact defense, and then we're going to see it's going to be 3-3, and then we're going to have eXcellence go back onto the train defense, and then it's going to be 4-3, and then, you know, so on and so on, traded rounds. That might be what we see happen here on Kafe if there's no particular upset here. I mean, Continuum's going to need to either throw on this particular defense, or eXcellence is going to need to throw on this particular defense, or one of them's going to need to step up hard going onto their train defense to kind of put themselves in a definitive winning position on this map.
So now up the south side of the map here is where Geo's going to locate himself. He does hear a prep on the window of fireplace. Now that was about to be hopped out potentially. Canadian will draw the attention of Geo.
He could run out on the Geo right now. He's going to opt not to, looks like. Oh, Fox A.
He must have heard Fox, or there must have been a call out or something, because Fox A was about to get a pulse in his face. However, Fox is now just going to look towards the mining room. And Canadian already sneak as a devil, able to rotate around. He's downstairs inside of the kitchen, working his way through connector. Now, previously, he saw the Blackbeard outside on the window south. He could hop out, but I don't think he needs to. He knows that, so he's probably already up on the roof. Fox is going to progress top floor, goes to pre-fire, next he downs and finishes off NVK inside of the closet. That is a wall you can shoot through, as we just see Fox annihilating it and taking out the Jaeger.
He's going to get spotted out by Canadian, but I think he knows this. He definitely heard the heartbeat sensor.
So Canadian will give away his position here. Fox looking like he might go for the push. There's the flashbangs, the new utility from Fox and from Ash. And there we're going to have it. Fox is moving on forward, and that will be Canadian falling to Ash.
That was a nice play there from Fox, putting his team in a great position, killing off the first 2 Continuum players.
That is the benefit of the new gadget on Ash and the new utility being that flashbangs.
Flashbangs were a buff to Ash. They were just attempting to nerf Glaz, but it was definitely a buff to Ash.
Yep.
I mean, as an entry fragger, you have flashbangs now? Oh, forget about it.
So now Fox is working his way here on the second floor red carpet with 4 of his teammates above. Looks like the man is still top floor as the other 3 are inside a cigar lounge. We've got 3 defenders left to go. Necrox trying to be inside of the cocktail lounge, stopping at what he can. Going to toss out 1 gas grenade. Looks as though that might do a little damage, not too much though. So with that, more flashbangs are being tossed on out. Gio's going to try to rotate and move forward. You saw him rush with a deagle. Another flashbang going out, but we already have Necrox rotating around. Jarvis going to be inside of the freezer. Now he's going back to cocktail lounges. Necrox goes for a kill, but misses. Fox, my man, and Brian each take down the final 3 members of Continuum, and they are going to go up 1 count in the round count now.
So this was the step up that we needed to see coming out from either of these teams, and it just happened to be eXcellence with an excellent
push.
Yeah, exactly. An excellent take, starting things off. Fox very strong on that Ash, getting those first 2 picks on the Roamer, and the NVK sitting in the cigar room. That's Canadian and NVK. That's 2 of the impact players for Continuum off the board early on. Then a 5 versus 3 as a team. They simply pushed into the site, locked things up nice and tight. So the step up coming from eXcellence, putting themselves in a great position now. All they have to do is win the easy defense on the upstairs, and they're on match point for map number 1. eXcellence looking extremely strong.
Yeah, I think if Canadian being the pulse that was basically blinded by Fox at the bottom of Baker, bottom of the red stairs, I think if I'm not entirely sure if Canadians knew that it was Fox or knew that it was an Ash. If so, you need to rotate on out of there. You know that she probably still has her flashbangs.
To be fair, I mean, there's still like a little bit of adjustment.
There is. There is still adjustment, I guess.
That patch was fairly recent.
Less than a week.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that he was like, oh, that's right,
smoke grenades, flashbangs. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that one. All right, I'll give Canadian the benefit of the doubt on that one.
You know what's interesting to see, though? We have not seen much, if any, Glaz play so far in the Pro League for North America. I don't think we've seen any, if I recall correctly. We might have seen some in the previous matchup.
Seen him yet, no.
For this matchup, we have not seen 1 Glaz. And I think that is to do with the fact that the smoke grenades have been brought off the most commonly played operators. And I think that is... that's good. That's great to see.
I mean, there's that plus the reduction to his damage. Instead of being 1 to 2 hits, it's now 2 to 3.
Yeah, but... Yeah, no, that is, I mean, partially it, yeah.
I just remember thinking, I went up against Glaz earlier today. I got shot in the chest from point blank. I had 33 health still.
Yeah, you're still alive, which is just miraculous. It was fantastic. It is really, definitely a good thing to see. But overall, it is, yeah, it's good to see that we're not seeing, he's not getting seeing a whole lot of play. He's likely to be a much more situational operator now.
Yep.
We are seeing a lot of Blackbeard play, though. He's been making a lot more prominent in these matchups.
And breaching charges on Blackbeard, especially on this map and this bomb site.
Well, I think now that you have the flashbangs on the Ash, the breach charges on the Blackbeard are a lot more justifiable.
Gotcha. I'm thinking I can definitely see it being used to open up the piano if you're trying to go down.
Yeah.
But would they necessarily be useful here in this particular?
Oh, Gurmy! He doesn't know that that was a nutty. Well, okay.
Yo, that's dirty.
That was just a pre-fire, but
dirty.
It was a nutty pre-fire all the same.
Yo, that's dirty, Gurmy.
Yeah, tracers I think are eliminated given that he is using a silencer. So MVK didn't necessarily know that those bullets were actually coming from there. So you can't really blame MVK like, oh, you're peeking into a tracer. No, no, no. He doesn't 100% know that that's even happening. So good angle from Gurmy to read that.
Now it looks as though we do have BC who managed to get his way into the piano room, but Gio is underneath. So if Gio does have a C4 still, we might be spotting him tossing it up. No, he actually already used it. So with that, Jarvis going to be inside of the cigar lounge. Necrox still on its drone outside on the bakery roof, I want to say. BC, however, will take down Gurmy from long range from piano. You see the shot. That was across the entire map on this floor. Canadian's also going to pick off my man. Now, 3 men left to go here for eXcellence. We've got Brian. We see him inside of the freezer trying to toss out one of the gas grenades. Gio and Fox are underneath. So there's only one man on site. That is Brian. It is up to him to hold down the fort as much as possible with 30 seconds remaining.
I don't think he knows this defuse is coming down right now. I think he's going to be able to stick it. Jarvis might be able to get this defuse plant. He does.
And he will fall, and it looks like he will be taken out, but Necrox is there to trade it off onto Gio. Now we do have Canadian who has fallen from the drop hatch. It looks as though he's going to be stationed right inside of the bar, as BC is still trying to hold down the rotation around. Fox coming around, and it looks like he will be decapitated and taken off. Last minute last is going to be Brian. And he's going to try to rotate back onto the cocktail lounge, away from the diffuser. I mean, when you've got Canadian above, Necrox underneath, and Blackbeard on the same level as you, this is something that you are not going to win, and right there, Necrox proves it.
So, let's talk about that round. eXcellence, they had a good start to things. Get some picks on the board, you put yourself in a man advantage, but they lost control of Freezer. And then, that wouldn't have been the end of the story per se, given a normal setup. However, because they opened up the secondary freezer wall, I think it's the east freezer wall, but the one that's facing towards the A bomb site, that gave Blackbeard the line of sight all the way back onto their deepest, most important linchpin of an anchor. As soon as that player was picked off, then there were only only one player left on the site because Jaeger was running out onto the balcony. Series of unfortunate events later, now it's all down to 2 players downstairs and 1 on the site. And the thing about those 2 players downstairs for the defensive squad is that there are plenty of people on the attacking team, that's Continuum, hunting them down. So Continuum just covering all their bases. There's not a Mira on the defensive team for eXcellence to maintain control of Piano and thus Freezer. And yeah, it just kind of went in a bad fashion for eXcellence. Now 3-3, as we are seeing Continuum step up in kind in response to eXcellence victory of the upstairs, and they are going to get their own. So that also means that Continuum is going to be given the first, second chance of this upstairs defense, put themselves, onto the match point. There's the same floor being opened up in Piano.
Yeah, and basically what that floor is used for, we might see it utilized better this time around, but you can toss C4s up from underneath to toss them into Cigar Lounge if you can catch them off guard that way.
Or
also just use it for peek.
Yeah, because, again, we talked about this before, it's always take red stairs, take Cigar, push into Piano, or pressure Piano at least. And that whole kind of negates a little bit of piano pressure if someone is downstairs at the right moment.
Now Fox is going to get back up here again within 25 seconds or so, trying to make sure that he's able to just catch people off guard if they are falling behind on their preparation, which is, I think, overlooked by many people just viewing the game, is how important it is to have a cohesive and coherent preparation phase. Make sure that you get your equipment down, get your reinforcements down in a timely fashion.
Absolutely. Doesn't look like anyone from CTM is going to be making that sort of mistake, though. Fox A is going to instead just open up the barbed wire, give his team a good trek into the site, so to speak, and all the way into Freezer. For the most part, eXcellence just getting themselves, positioning themselves properly here to execute this take and not wanting to take any huge risks right now. They know Canadians playing underneath them, which is given away by, if nothing else, the reinforcements on the wheel wall. But they don't have any direct answers for him just yet.
So I actually like this. They know that someone's down here, like you said. The reinforcements give it away, and that's okay for Continuum. It's okay for them to give that up because they're comfortable in that position that they're in. You see Fox trying to pre-fire through the drop hatch. C4, like we just saw, got tossed up. That actually did 99, I would say 97% damage there to Fox. Got tossed up by Canadian, up through the hole, and almost got him killed.
Yeah, that's that hole you were talking about, just being used to great effect.
Now Fox will be injured and get picked back up by his teammate here. Gio might have the same fate of being down and picked back up.
It's too bad there's not a second C4 downstairs for Continuum, otherwise we could have seen a double kill there. But all the same, a lot of time wasted, if nothing else, for eXcellence.
Now we do have NVK trying to fight this onto Hibana. That's Brian at the red stairs top side. Will he go for the fight? He knows that there's now 2 people. You've got NVK and Canadian down there. Necrox, though, will get the gas grenade onto Gio, taking him out.
Yeah, only 33 seconds left to go, but all 3 of the gas canisters have been used Oh, NVK with the angle from underneath, gonna pick off Foxday.
Very good shot, and that's something you have to take slowly onto that angle because you don't know who's inside a cocktail lounge. Jarvis, though, he's got about 1 health, and he's looking to make a peek here onto Gurmy. Gurmy's going to go for the shots, but it looks like Canadian comes out on top as my man drops Jarvis for the count. A Claymore kill by Gurmy will take out NVK. It's a 2-on-1 at the moment. My man, with 7 seconds left to go, pulls out that SMG-11, goes for the kill into BC, but misses his target, and BC gets that advantage. And that's going to be Continuum taking round number 7, going up 4-3.
Constant round trades coming out from both of these teams to keep us in a very tight match. Now, Continuum going to be thrust onto that upstairs attack yet again. Will they be able to lock this out, or will eXcellence win the bar defense?
Stay tuned and find out.
Oh, yeah. Be surprised, as we all will be, surely. eXcellence going to be bringing that mute to the field. That's likely to mean, or that's going to mean that they're going to be playing in mute in the piano yet again. Did work out for them the first time they tried it, very much so, in fact, I believe. Allowed them to win that round. We'll see if it works out for them yet again.
Now,
stay tuned and find out.
Knowing that eXcellence did not bring a Mira last time, would you expect Continuum to bring Hibana and Thermite? I was expecting, okay, Thermite to open up the wall into piano and then Hibana to open up the Miras, but they didn't bring a Mira last time.
I think the more destructibility options, the better. I mean, the great thing about Hibana is that she's not really a sacrifice in any freaking department. Like, she's not only can she open up into reinforced walls, but also she's a great fragger with 2 really good guns and flashbangs, if not a claymore.
Yep.
So she's effectively a second Ashe, so why not bring her, really, is the reality of that situation. You could bring a Thatcher, sure, but I mean, you'd sooner sacrifice a Sledger or a Blackbeard, keep the Hibana on there, why not?
Yep.
But I am really kind of surprised by eXcellence not bringing that Mira to the field. It did work very much against them, the fact that they didn't have a Mira that last time they were fighting this top floor, and that could be what spells their destruction here again. It costs them not only this round, but in turn the map as a whole.
So this is, like we said, map number 1. Match point for this map. Winner will, if CTM takes this round, they will take map number 1, and we'll move on to our second map of the evening. Ooh, there's a pre-fire through the window there after being shot and having a shield destroyed. BC says, nope, get out of here, Geo, and takes no damage. We are seeing NVK very cautiously peeking down through the top hatch of this of the red stairs. Not seeing anyone just yet. Looks as though we are going to have Jarvis be the forefront to open up the wall here with diffuser in hand. There's just Jammer, I believe, that is preventing that. So that will be, I believe, NVK hopping onto the window on south. Is that the west side? East side? Some side of the building to get rid of that Jammer.
BC's also going to rappel in through those west windows. That's going to give them some control of piano. But meanwhile, NVK getting picked off by a run out from the Jaeger. Also rappelling on that west window is going to put the man count back in a 4-4 situation. Good, again, well-timed aggression coming out from eXcellence. And that's what we saw on their first defense of this particular floor that allowed them to win it.
Now, that's a wall that's necessarily not always opened up by a Thermite. You typically don't get the opportunity to do that.
The reason, and we talked about this earlier, that doesn't normally get opened up is because of mirror windows. But because there are no mirror windows from eXcellence, that gives Continuum so many more options. And I can't help but feel like it was a mistake to not bring that mirror again.
Gurmy's head is very close to being seen there by BC, going again for the long-range shots. I think he spotted him, but now he's just waiting for the perfect opportunity. Jarvis trying to cause a little distraction here by the corridor of white stairs, leading into the piano room. BC trying to get a little bit of a different angle, moving on closer. Brian gets flashbang, turned away in time. Gaston gets tossed out. Now BC knows he's in here. So that's a 4-on-4 now with 20 seconds left to go. We're going to get the plant down here soon. Jarvis trying to go for it. Looks like Necrox is going to pick off that kill on a Fox with that Bearing 9 in hand. So a 4-on-3. 10 seconds remains. Jarvis needs to get this plant down here soon. My man, though, will fall to BC. Now we're going to see Gurmy take out Jarvis, so the plant will not go down. Brian's rotating around with the shotgun, and he takes down one. Gurmy takes down another. A 2-on-1 now. Canadian last man alive, and the defenders are going to get this win due to the lack of time here, and Continuum not able to get this down.
Yeah, and it looks like we will be seeing overtime. Well played to eXcellence there, but to be honest, again, like just a little bit of a stall out from Continuum. Not really being able to apply the pressure when it was most needed, and they kind of just, yeah, straight up they stalled out. They kind of, they couldn't get the final push in, and that's all that really came down to. Overall, they poised themselves well. They established control, they got picks, and they started to progress themselves into the site. But they just stopped progressing. And when they made that final push at the last couple seconds, they were looking in the wrong direction. Some great positioning from eXcellence put themselves in, or put Continuum in a bad spot.
So eXcellence is going to try their hand at holding onto the top 4 site like they did previously. Worked out for them the first time. Second time, I don't recall. There was no second time.
Huh?
There was a second time. I'm trying to think of eXcellence's second time holding this site. Was it successful or was it not?
No, I think their second time was
I know, I'm drawing a blank too, right?
It was not successful, no.
It's not.
So the way that the rounds have progressed so far is they defended upstairs. Both teams defended upstairs successfully. First time, then they failed on their train defense, then they both came upstairs and failed on their upstairs defense, and then they have both successfully defended their upstairs for the third time. So it's been it's straight up round swapping for both these teams, just exchanging evenly on the same exact, yeah, so, yep.
Now Canadian has managed to get his way up here just as quick as Fox, and keeping an eye, like we just saw, the razor wire being set. There's the little quick peek that Canadian should have taken the opportunity and advantage of, but little slow reaction time there.
Drone's ready.
We are going to see Continuum try to take over again the top floor red stairs, as we've seen every team try to do. They're also at the same time going to work into piano room. Now the question is, with eXcellence keeping the same kind of setup they've done before, Smoke's going to be in freezer.
Oh, no. See, this is how eXcellence is winning these rounds, by the way. This right here, this is all that is causing them to win these rounds on the upstairs defense for the most part, is it really just comes down to this well-timed aggression outside that gives them the man advantage early on. If it weren't for that, they would be struggling a lot more. I mean, they're not bringing that mirror window, which is putting themselves in such just an awkward position each defense. But Continuum seemingly are not prepared to deal with that. And it's working for eXcellence, to be sure.
Now, BC does have a pulse underneath him. He also is going to spot Fox and takes him down. What a shot, what an angle there from BC, looking down at the perfect time. Geo is tucked away inside of that middle train. Necrox, however, will drop Geo as he pushes on in. So that's the Pulse and the Valkyrie down. Both of the C4s out for the count. That's going to be massive good juju here going towards Continuum in this in the potential final round or first round of overtime.
Yet again, they are opening up that wall into freezer with no direct challenge because there is no mirror window. There's no echo drone on the other side to stop it. I mean, this is going to give them so much control, especially with 50 seconds on the board and a man advantage.
So 3 on 4. Brian still tucked away inside. He's used off one of his gas grenades. He's going to toss out another here. And that's one of the uses of the Hibana charge. Again, being very useful, is shooting that pellets and getting rid of the ADSs. NVK tosses one nade into the freezer, and down will go the Smoke. You've got 2 men left to go in the defensive squad. That's my man coming up the back white stairs as Gurmy's still inside of the cocktail lounge. He's trying to move a little bit closer. Flashbang's going in. Jarvis going to peek on out. Looks like he will be taken out. He almost sees BC. Shots are going flying, and Gurmy, for the time being, is able to hold it down. My man's got to make a perfectly timed push. He's going for the shots there. Looks like Necrox will fall. Gurmy's still alive. The plant's got to go down. 7 seconds to go. My man's going to tag on NVK. Last man's going to be BC. And can he get the plant down? He does not. Defenders are going to win as Gurmy takes off the head of BC, and that is eXcellence, playing it very excellently.
That's just going to keep going.
It is. It's going to keep. It's going to be a
We're both
thing.
going to use that into the end of the world. Like flip side. On the flip side.
On the flip side, they.
But yeah, that was a great 2v4, I believe it was, from eXcellence to keep themselves in this match, or put themselves now on overtime match point. However, Continuum now are going to be able to defend the same floor. So it lends to reason that we will be seeing a 5-5 and likely an 11-round match here on Kafe. So that last round, Interesting, man. Very interesting. The way that eXcellence is defending that top floor, at first you want to openly critique it, but it seems to be working is the dilemma. I mean, they're doing it so counter to the current meta right now, and that they're just not bringing a Mira, and that is in of itself like just so different, you know.
So out of the meta at the moment.
When you don't have it, when you just forfeit control over Freezer. But the thing is that used to be the standard meta before Mira got brought into things, before that, you know, she became part of it. And it worked still for the defenders, you know, just simply allowing the attackers to take control of that Freezer wall and open it up and keep your smoke all the way in Freezer. Use his smoke canisters to, you know, delay that push and then going into the final seconds of the round. And, you know, other than that, just used his SMG-11 to win the fight. So it's a little bit of an older meta that we're seeing. Yeah, this is a nice spawn.
I was going to say NVK might have just gotten wall banged because Fox's drone was there. Now, luckily, he did spot it in time and relocated.
But, yeah, so it's a little bit of an older meta that we're seeing coming out from eXcellence on that top floor defense. But, again, it's been working out for him. So, hey, there it is. And we'll see exactly how it is that eXcellence choose to try and attack this particular floor this time. If they make something happen here, this could be fantastic for them. Of course, it would result in them winning the map as a whole, but you know, it would be a spectacular way to win.
Now it looks as though Gio will spot out NVK, and not quite sure where he's going after. Now, Fox is working his way up the red stairs here with Diffuser in hand by Brian right underneath of him. We are going to see eXcellence try to take over again more of this red stairs. It's necessary if they want to get into Piano and into Cigar Lounge. BC is going to make it a little bit difficult for them as they have their player inside of the bathroom. And underneath is Canadian.
Yeah, and then there's the Canadian C4 from underneath that likely will actually do something this round. It almost killed the Ash last round, was unsuccessful on this. Last time they were on this defense, that is. Now, eXcellence have spent a lot of time establishing control over almost nothing. Now with only half the round left to go, they are finally pushing into Cigar. It might be a little bit too slow. Every second counts in this situation.
It doesn't. Canadian spotting one out on the red stairs, another inside a Cigar. He's going to call it on out. Fox actually moving forward. He's tiptoeing around, and he's looking for the shots, and he sees smoke, but he cannot get the kill. Necrox takes a little bit of damage, but Gio's going to finish off Canadian. Now the flashbangs are going to come out. Necrox is going to be blinded. Will Fox go for the push? He knows his grenades are on target, so he's going to look in towards Freezer, spots the Mira, tosses one in towards her, but it's a miss! And that's going to be unfortunate there. Gurmy's going to pick up one. Gio gets another. Fox gets the last one. And we're going to see eXcellence take home map number 1 here, 6-4.
Truly an upset from eXcellence, but well played nonetheless. Very good job there on that particular take. Now, they did spend a lot of time pretty much controlling the roof and just looking for the avenues in, but they saw a clear avenue all the way into the site. A lack of barbed wire on the doorway from Cigar into Bar. Now, that might have been ashed, maybe. But all the same, allowing a player to walk in after the barbed wire has been ashed, which by what I mean by that is you're not holding the hard angle into the Cigar door. You don't have somebody on cams ready to make that call so you can peek in holding the soft angle. I mean,
that was treacherous. I mean,
how can you let someone walk in through Cigar into Bar? It's just that really cost them the round. I mean, meanwhile, you did see the, eXcellence players winning engagements. Well, you didn't see it, but you knew it was happening. eXcellence player were winning engagements elsewhere. But all the same, as soon as that Ash managed to get herself into Bar, then wasn't contested at all, that was pretty much the end of the round.
Yeah, and I mean, congratulations to eXcellence.
Oh yeah, very well played.
That's still just the first map in this best-of-3 series. We are going to get on to our second map of the evening, which I believe is not Oregon. Oregon is the decider.
I believe.
No, is it Oregon?
I think it's Border.
Border?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
Border, yes, then
Border.
Oregon's decider, that's right.
Continuum picked Border, eXcellence picked Kafe. So we're going to be seeing Border played here. eXcellence versus CTM. Now, Border is a map that very, very heavily favors, I would have to say, CTM. That is one of their maps that they've played very well on in the past. So. They have a lot of experience on it as well, playing against some of the little bit, like the newer stuff that we like. For example, we saw from Dexterity in the Invitational.
Yep.
So, I wouldn't say newer stuff. That was ages ago, but you know what I mean. The variation.
Can you believe that? Well, I guess the Sixth Invitation was 4 months ago.
It was a lot. You know, it
4
doesn't.
months.
It doesn't feel like a long time ago, but it actually was. In scale of time, it was. So.
But no, so that is the end of the first map, and we might have highlights here in a moment, or we might have them at the end of the series. But with
no highlights,
with
we'll
this
see them at the end of the series.
With this mapping going to eXcellence, we talked about it previously with Flipside finishing out very strongly and keeping that momentum forward to win map number 2. Now, eXcellence didn't win this as decisively. It wasn't a 5-2 like Flipside won over Omen. But at the same time, you have to think that, like, we heard, I think it was Fox say, like, we think we can beat them. We hope we can beat them. It wasn't a definitive, we can beat them. So I think this momentum will help give them that confidence to continue forward into map number 2.
You know, I have to agree. I mean, towards the end there, especially that last round, what was supposed to happen, according to what has been happening, which is just rounds being traded back and forth, is that Continuum were supposed to win their upstairs defense, and eXcellence was going to go down into the train, and then Continuum was going to win that attack, but that's not what happened. All the same,
time to get underway with map number 2 here on Border. Let's take a look at those operator selection choices as we have CTM starting out on attack and eXcellence starting out on defense.
Blackbeard, Thatcher, Habana, Ash, Thermite versus Mira, Smoke, Jaeger, Bandit, and Pulse. No big upsets in any of these operator selections, although, you know, something that's great to see about the operator selection in the game as it is right now is that there isn't just like an operator that you pick and you go, oh my gosh, they decided to bring that into the match. I mean, you could say, for example, Tachanka or Blitz, but other than that, not much.
Capcan as well. I mean, we don't see much Capcan.
Yeah.
He is viable. He can bring C4. He's got a good weapon. His traps can help prevent the rushes that obviously you're going to run into. But
in contrast to what we've seen in previous seasons, the majority of the operators, I'd say, are viable.
Yeah, the majority, definitely, the majority.
Which is really great to see. It's like even if you know, it used to be when people brought a fuse, people were like, haha, they brought a fuse, and now no, he has a reason to be brought to the field.
Yep.
Same thing with Buck. I mean, same thing with Heck, Frost. You could even bring a Frost and no one would be surprised. And I like that. I think that's good. eXcellence is going to be starting things out with an upstairs defense that's going to be in the Armory. They are going to be bringing a mirror this time, which is somewhat interesting, given that they were not bringing him on, or her rather, on Kafe. We'll see how they choose to put her windows to use here. They are also very heavily invested in the CCTV room, which is abnormal, to say the least. Usually considered a destination for death for the defenders, as you're simply so very exposed. However, you can see here that there were some interesting holes being opened up there.
What I find a little odd...
Ooh, that Mira. Sorry, go ahead.
What I find just a little odd is the fact that they have a Bandit. They've pre-placed some batteries. I know one got placed on the drop hatch inside of security or inside of monitors, but Fox is down on first floor, nowhere to be trying to swap or stop the opening of the west wall.
Yeah, it's interesting that they opted to have their Bandit be the roamer downstairs instead of their Pulse, but we'll see if it works out for them. I do think that could have been a little bit of a flawed decision. However, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world for their strategy here.
Now BC might... No, he's inside of the tellers, waiting for the shots here from Fox.
You can see clearly Continuum's take here is an East Building office take. They have players downstairs that their job is basically, yeah, they can clear out the roamers, but they're basically just meant to be there to stop the C4 from coming up when they're trying to plant on the site itself, deny that pulse from underneath.
Now Fox is actually in a really good position, even though he is fairly exposed. Now it looks as though Canadian will spot him out here momentarily, and that's going to be unfortunate here for both members. That's going to be Geo and Fox here getting spotted out inside of the servers. Canadian about ready to go for this push. He's going to go for a pre-fire here. He takes down the head of Geo, and Brian will take out NVK for the trade. However, Fox will fall. There's Canadian. There, he spotted out both. He got both kills. That's exactly what you need your entry fragger to do. That's exactly what Canadian intended, and that's exactly how it ended up being. A 3-on-4s now with 50 seconds to go.
Yeah, man advantage is in favor of a Continuum, but all the same, there is still a smoke, and there are still smoke canisters waiting to stall out this round for the remaining 30 seconds.
And Jarvis is moving on into the site. He's going to go for the plant here with the cover outside of the B window. Brian having no gas grenades. And therefore, Brian's going to rush on in. He actually didn't even see it. He looked to the left just very briefly, looked to the right even more, and then got taken out by Gurmy. Gurmy dropping out the C4 and the Necrox. We've got Jarvis, who did get that diffuser planted in time. Now he's just going to stay inside of the site prone. Canadian trying to come up from the east stairwell as BC's out on the north windows. We've got 2 members left. That's Gurmy and Maman, and it looks as though we are going to have a one-on-one standoff. Maman going up against BC. He sees the shield. He knows he's there. He's going to go for the shot. Takes him down, and that's actually the clutch there from Maman on eXcellence. He does have plenty of time. We will see eXcellence take home round number 1 after what looked like a decisive victory here from Continuum.
Absolutely decisive, to say the least. I mean, they strategically established control over the basement. They took out both of the roamers from underneath. That was well played from Canadian, by the way. Then they established control over office. They had control over the site itself. There were no smoke grenades left. I stand corrected on that one, by the way. And then they managed to push themselves into the site, still having every angle covered. However, eXcellence just fought their way back into that, 1 kill after another.
They won the gunfights.
Yeah.
It wasn't about angles, it wasn't about holding, it was winning the gunfights. And that's what they did.
I feel like I find myself saying this time and time again in this particular matchup, but that's all, like, strategically, Continuum won that round.
Yep.
They straight up won that round, and then they lost it, though, because eXcellence, as you just said, won the gunfights. They're just taking these fights and winning them. That's all there is to it. There's no other real factor. I mean, it's so weird to see. It works, though. I mean, this seems as if it's the story of Sisu versus Penta right now is what we're witnessing. Sisu being Continuum, Penta being eXcellence. And, you know, Penta's that team. They take those gunfights. They win the gunfights. And because of that, they win rounds. They won last season.
Yeah, I mean, I pride this game and every single team on here for being a team that if you can be strategy heavy, you don't necessarily need, in the long run, to have the top-notch 100 best gunshots. You can outsmart somebody in this game, and that's what we see Continuum trying to do.
They were doing it. They absolutely outsmarted eXcellence on that last round.
And it just seems like it's not enough right now in the current meta, or at least the current against this team.
Yeah.
It's just not enough.
We'll see exactly how it is that Continuum choose to adapt here, though. The thing is that, yes, they're losing these gunfights, but Continuum always has a contingency plan to back themselves up after they find themselves in this situation. By the way, this mirror window, fantastic mirror window for control overall of CCTV. It allows you to play a little bit more hard in CCTV itself. And they are, both eXcellence and Continuum are utilizing that, as well as both eXcellence and Continuum are choosing to take from the offices.
We do see that wall by offices going to open up the triple wall there. We saw my man just terrorizing it. Necrox, however, is going to be inside of the B site with Jarvis. Canadian still underneath. They know that the push is coming from the east balcony and the north ventilation unit. This, unfortunately, for Continuum is going to be a poor choice of walls. We are going to see the wall get opened up here. Jarvis is going to be stuck here for the time being. Geo, though, gets that headshot there onto Necrox. As though Fox will take out Jarvis in a trade, though, as BC finishes him off. Now we have Canadian coming back onto site. He was underneath, used his nitro cell, but he will get picked off here by Gurmy from the north window outside of B site. And unfortunately, that looked like it might have been a wall bang. Geo going to take down BC as well. This is eXcellence, again, out-strategizing and actually out-winning these gunfights here against the members of Continuum. NVK will down my man, but he still has 3 members to go. And he grabs 1. He's got 2 more to go against Brian and Gurmy. He sees my man, finishes him off. Diffuser's gotten planted here inside of the B site. Gurmy, again, outside of the window here, is going to place 1 drone inside. That way he can play a softer angle. Now NVK is going to move on forward. Gurmy's just waiting for the call out. He doesn't need to push this. He doesn't need to do anything other than just wait for his team to say yes, he's up on site, he's going for the defuse, and then he goes in.
This is the perfect amount of patience here from Gurmy. This is just incredibly well played from him.
Now he will push on out, and there's the 1 shot from Gurmy, taking that NVK after such a long and hard-fought battle. We are going to see eXcellence go up 2-0.
So I'm not sure who the Blackbeard was in this exact same situation on the last round when it was CTM on defense, or sorry, CTM on attack. But whomever that Blackbeard was, I think it was BC. I'm pretty sure BC is their Blackbeard player. He played on the window It was a 1 versus 1, and he played on the window. In that 1 versus 2, they afforded NVK every ounce of respect that NVK deserves.
Yep.
NVK is a clutch
Definitely.
god. He could have won that if Blackbeard were doing the same thing, sitting on the window. But no, no, no. He was all the way back behind the actual AC unit. He was waiting very patiently.
I mean, that's the mark of a great team. Being able to make those calls, realize, like you said, give the enemy the respect that they deserve. And NVK deserved it, and he gave it to him. And he said, okay, I'm going to stay behind this unit. I'm going to get my drone in place, and I'm going to make my team allow me to get this.
And we're talking about winning fights, and we're talking about eXcellence. They're on top right now because they're winning fights. And it's not just that, though. We saw NVK very clearly winning those fights. He killed Maman and somebody else. He dumpstered those 2 kids.
Geo and Maman, yep.
He did a fantastic job there, starting that clutch up with those 2 kills. But the difference is that the last 2 players on eXcellence didn't take risks. They weren't going for, like, all right, it's NVK, it's 1v2, we'll be fine, we'll just fight them and win, and it's no big deal. But they instead opted to play super safe. They were like, no, 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 wait, just wait. We want to win the round. We don't care.
Yep. So here we are now, Continuum starting out on the attack squad for round number 3. We are seeing a Glass. That is correct here.
It's been a while. I don't think we've seen him all day. I could be wrong about that.
I feel like we haven't seen him.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't seen him at all day. If we have, it's not been very much. And let's see exactly how they choose to use him here. They are going to be taking what looks like from tellers into ventilation, or at least they're poising themselves to do just that. See if that's what they choose to follow through on. Now, usually when you take from tellers, you also take office above. We'll see if it doesn't look like they're setting themselves up to do that, though. As they kind of just spread out around the east side of the building. They're going to have to contest this castle in the bathroom to start things off.
Yeah, and now one of the things we saw earlier from eXcellence, I think it was Fox, he opened up a hole right above. So even if they get the castle out, most likely Continuum's going to say, okay, I'm nice and safe inside the bathroom. Right above Geo right now is a hole that can see almost the entire bathroom. Now, however, we will see Geo get blinded here. We are going to see someone try to move in forward. Not just yet. They are just going to use up some of that flashbang and then throw out the smokes. Geo will fall to the shots there by BC. More smoke grenades. That's going to allow him to move in forward. But again, the hole from above, that is not what they're expecting. That could prove to be very detrimental here to Continuum as they push on into the bathrooms after the gas grenades dissipate. A minute and a half left to go. The wall next to Brian's going to get opened up. That's going to force him to relocate outside of the server room or further deeper, close to the other side inside of ventilation. Fox, however, will fall to Canadian. Now we've got Gurmy inside of the lockers. NVK, though, looks like he might be inside of the hallway or offices trying to push in. Gurmy's being very cautious at the moment. A 5-on-3, a 4-on-3 now. The Necrox has fallen to Brian here inside of that server lounge. BC's going to spot out Brian here. Last gas grenade is going to go out. That's going to push BC away for a little bit, but I think he can still back up away from the smoke and still look through it. With that, my man trying to hold down an angle. Spotted Canadian, went for the Shoppa, missed. Now Canadian's like, okay, someone's here inside of the customs inspection lounge. I'm going to backtrack. Brian, though, will take down the Glass. And that will be a double kill there for him. Diffuser will get planted here by Jarvis. Sees his booty and tags it down. Goes for the shot to the Canadian, but misses. And we are going to have the attackers win this round as NVK finishes off Gurmy for the final countdown. And we are going to see Continuum try to come on back here. It's now 2-1 in favor of eXcellence.
They put themselves on the board now, but that was a very close round. Despite getting those 2 early first picks, they did have to struggle to lock things out there towards the end. Now, that was a good take, though, from Continuum. Very well compartmentalized. They didn't allow themselves to be flanked from any roamers. They just kind of established a wall and pushed that wall forward through both floors, while they're upstairs in office and downstairs in teller, all the way into the site. So well played from them. Well executed attack strategy. No matter what eXcellence threw at them, they were ready for it. Now, eXcellence going to be put onto attack. Continuum on to defense, and they are going to be able to defend Armory yet again because they were unsuccessful here the first time. So this could be where we see Continuum continue their comeback, put themselves on 2-2.
So we've got flip side on the flip side. We've got eXcellence doing eXcellence. Now we've got Continuum continuing to do what they need to do.
I mean, we've always had Continuum continuing, but you know, we just underutilized is what it is. Oh man.
I'm trying to figure out what are we going to do for Omen.
Omen has an Omen looming, given that they have to win their second match. I don't know.
It could
cheesy.
just be, oh man.
Oh man, that's
Oh, man.
perfect. I like it. That's much better.
We got it.
Man.
Oh man, Omen is doing fantastic.
Oh man.
Oh man.
What have we done? Are you a dad? Because I'm not a dad.
I pride myself on my dad jokes.
Oh, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it is round number 4 here, map number 2. First map went in favor of eXcellence Gaming. And we've got eXcellence now here on attack, trying to secure a deeper lead, as it could go to 3-1 if they can win this attack.
If eXcellence put themselves here at 3-1, then they are very well positioned to like lock things out here. And they feel poised and ready, you know. They just their executions are, God, you know, I actually want to just say excellence, but now excellent. I just want to say excellent, but I feel bad doing it.
Now Gio is here trying to pre-fire. NVK is going to go for the challenge and just hurt Gio down to about 40 health remaining. That's a good timing there by NVK, going for the drop shot out of the snack lounge or break room. He's now here still inside of that second floor main hallway, main corridor, waiting to hear if someone's going to come up the west stairs. If not, he's just going to focus his attack on the east stairwell, east hallway. My man's actually fully exposed. All NVK needs to do is just pop on out, and he might just tag another kill.
Not trying to take any risks, though.
Fox, however, will down and finish off Canadian. That's their pulse out for the count. Looks like we will have the wall get opened up a little bit by BC. I think that was at head level, though, so he should be good if he stays crouched.
So eXcellence has established control over the entire roam game, and that Canadian getting him off the board, and that's huge. That means that no C4 will come up when they start the plant in the site. However, they need to contest this BC still in the office, and that is a large hurdle to jump over. And as well as the Jarvis on that mirror window. There's a lot of things that they need to deal with here. With only 2 Hibana charges left, they have to make both of them count. And they have to get rid of these batteries first.
Now,
no Thatcher
if
grenades either.
Gio can get in, he could possibly cause some chaos, but at the moment that hole is not big enough for him, so he will not be able to scoot on through. However, Gerby dropping the kill into Jarvis and then it's traded out by BC. BC trying to get another one there, but he cannot get it as my man will drop him down for the count. Necrox, though, going to take out Gio with just trading back and forth. We are going to finish this off with a 3-on-2. 30 seconds left to go. We are going to have some walls getting opened up now. Fox from underneath, looking up through the drop hatch. Necrox is here, some pre-fires from the floor. Fox will not tag him just yet. Necrox, though, still holding steady.
There's only 1 gas canister left, but that's going to be enough with only 15 seconds to go. NVK is going to get picked off, though.
Now Necrox trying to come around from the fountain. He goes, gets 1 kill, pulls out that SMG-11. Diffuser has fallen, so he's going to go for my man, but my man says no and tags him down for the count. eXcellence goes up 3-1.
Was that a skeleton key kill?
That may have been.
Nope, I don't think so.
No.
A very nice try there from Necrox and Continuum as a whole. However, I'm gonna be honest, as soon as they lost that roamer downstairs, they lost a lot of their oomph on their defense overall. These players playing static positions, holding the angles on defense from Continuum, just getting picked off one by one. Sure, they were trade back. However, because the eXcellence team had the man advantage to begin with, trades are gonna favor them inherently. And MVK not being able to do any work from the A bomb site, that's very uncharacteristic of NVK as a player.
I think what also was one of the turning points was Gurmy getting the kill onto Jarvis inside a fountain.
Yeah, I think also BC missing that shot onto my man. I mean, he kind of painted a picture around him. I mean, we saw that. If he'd be able to secure that, get those 2 kills, we could have seen a totally different result. However, now it is 3-1. eXcellence putting themselves in a great position here to bring themselves on the map point. The worst part about this for Continuum is that not only is it 3-1, but because eXcellence gets to defend Armory again, and Armory is the site that you're supposed to win.
Yep.
So now we're looking like we're going to have a match point situation, which means Continuum's going to have to win 3 rounds in a row in all likelihood, assuming they lose this one, which is to bring themselves into overtime. So
Continuum has done that before in the past, not with this exact roster. But what I want to point out is we talked about it before, earlier on in the evening, was that this is Continuum's time to shine. And if they don't, this is their moment to prove themselves. If they don't, I see them at the moment just becoming another Pro League team, not one step over above another.
Well, what we're seeing from them so far is just that. But if they make this comeback happen, then proceed onto the third map and really shine, that could be the Continuum we're looking for.
It is. Yep. But however, right now, that's not to take away from eXcellence, because eXcellence has been doing tremendous work here today.
I really like the way that they play, too. It reminds me a little bit of Penta, a little bit less strategic, a little bit more crazy, but still a little bit of Penta shining through here on the eXcellence lineup.
Strategy got Penta the gold star, the top-notch crown at the LAN event last couple weeks
some
ago.
strategy, but you know, it's just loose strategies what Penta does, and eXcellence is kind of a little bit looser, I guess. I would say what I'm seeing from them. Same thing, really though. Ideas was what I'm seeing played from eXcellence. However, who knows? For all I know, they have a playbook, same as Continuum, and they call from it a lot. We'll have to actually ask them next time we get into an interview, see how they choose to play, because we don't know a lot about eXcellence as a team.
We don't, and so with that, all we have to go off is what we've seen so far, and like you've called it.
And they've been playing fantastically.
They have.
So it looks like it is going to be, yet again, an office take. Both these teams opting to go for office rather than CCTV a wall. That might be because of the mirror window that's really nice in CCTV. Affords a lot of control for the defenders. I think they're just trying to, really honestly, I think they're both trying to avoid that. But there's not a lot of defense from eXcellence focused around the B-bomb site, which is interesting considering they can very easily predict this is where the attack's coming from. I think they're relying a little bit on the roamers downstairs using their C4 on the destructible floor. Specifically Geo is what I'm talking about right now.
Now with 60 seconds left to go, it's still a 5-on-5. We are going to see an east balcony and east stairwell push into the offices from Continuum.
And Canadian's downstairs, he's looking to take out those roamers if at all possible.
Oh, I thought, hello.
You were thinking the same thing.
Same thing. I was like, we're about to see a head-on collision between an attacker and a defender, and instead, it was just Fox and Geo just giving a little kiss at the doorway.
Whoops. Bad call on that one. A lot of this round is going to come down to what happens between Canadian and the two roamers. Last time Canadian picked off both, but eXcellence still came out on top. If Canadian can't get these 2 kills this round, that means it's almost certainly going to be an eXcellence for victory.
Yep. And so here's going to be the foot race.
25 seconds.
Foot race. Canadian tags one. He's going to go for the other here onto Geo. Can he get it? Not quite yet. Geo's playing it nice and safe for the time being. However, BC takes down Gurmy. Now with 15 seconds left to go, Canadian hops onto his camera and is just annihilated by Geo. That's going to allow Paul to be underneath, but the diffuser has already been planted. C4 is going to get tossed, and therefore it won't do any damage, and we are going to have a man drop an NVK down for the count. A 3-on-3 now with diffuser planted. We've got just moments to go to see if eXcellence can take this to a 4-1.
Oh, if he sticks the defuse now, he might
Brian just needs to hit it right now. He's just need to keep on going for it. Necrox is going to move in forward. They don't know he's over there. He's going to get it.
Oh,
it's
no,
Brian. Hello.
Oh, no.
Defenders won the round. He got it.
Oh, no.
He got it in time. eXcellence. Just a tremendous job. A little sneaky sneak there from Brian. And that will be round count match point, series point leading up here right now for eXcellence, leading the way 4-1.
So remember we were talking about affording all due respect to the remaining defenders after the diffuser's been planted and playing nice and safe? Not quite that safe, a little bit more aggressive.
A little too conservative there.
You need to have at least a drone on the diffuser to know. In the meanwhile, somebody like hold it, you know, like point a gun at it and prevent that from happening.
You mean you didn't have the angle? You mean you didn't have the angle? You didn't see the bomb?
I'm sure there's a lot of that going on in Continuum's comms right now. Wait, we're not watching the diffuser? Ah!
That unfortunately is, I hate to say it, but it's a rookie overlap, an oversight. Oversight.
Yeah, I think it's likely. I mean, none of the players on the Continuum roster are rookies. Let's not. Pretend.
I'm not saying that they are.
Right.
That mistake, though, is a rookie mistake.
We have to afford those communication. There's got to be some sort of lapse in communication going on in the Continuum lineup right now, whereby someone's like, I got it, and then they don't got it. I'm going to go ahead and guess the Habana, who is rappelling on the east balcony, who, as you could see, was holding that angle through the doorway, all the way through the site, was saying, okay, I have the angle. And it's almost certain that Brian just managed to sneak past that, likely while Habana was reloading and seeking cover, and just nobody saw him cross.
It was literally perfect timing. That's it.
I mean, I feel like we said this enough, but I'll say it again. Strategically, Continuum won that round, but just through some miracle, eXcellence managed to win it. Winning gunfights and just going crazy, they managed to win it. Well played to eXcellence there.
Now we are going to see a very similar hold here. However, they have opted to not bring the mirror this time. Continuum chose it last time to keep one on the fountain wall facing into the offices, and another, I believe, might have been on the west balcony or inside of the office facing west balcony.
So that castle is going to slow down the Blackbeard, though to not any significant degree. He's just going to simply 11 melee it.
That was actually Fox outside of Tellers. Shot one of his breaching charges up and did massive damage to Canadian. With no Doc on his team, he's going to have to stick around with that much health for the remainder of the round.
And he's not likely to get a reset either. The position he's playing is a little bit too aggressive.
Yep. And he can't give it up either, because if they push at that time and they've given it up, well,
he's going to die.
Yep.
And then they lost the round pretty much. As soon as office control is taken from the attackers and they are allowed to put themselves in position to take the site, it's almost certainly going to go for the attackers. His flashbang's going to get rid of the Jaeger device. Not going to flashbang Canadian though.
Yeah, Canadian has kind of moved on out looking for some peaks, but I think Brian is there to try to get him tagged again.
The angle!
A nice angle there from Jarvis.
That was nice. Like you said, well set up.
Now what I see Canadian doing is just baiting out the push from eXcellence.
He's doing a good job of it so far, but he is going to get taken down from the nade. They might not know he's down, although the second nade is going to finish him off. Now that's the man count reestablished as even. However, MVK is looking like he's wanting to get that nice little flank off if he's given the opportunity. eXcellence is being a little bit too cautious here. I think they don't want to blow their lead.
You did just try to rush on out, open up some of the wall there. That's the reason you need to get rid of Canadian or whoever is inside of the cubby there on the other side of the wall.
I think they saw the fountain player.
They have to know that there's someone behind the fountain.
Yeah. So they know one's CCTV, they know one's fountain. How are they going to handle it?
Oh, my man's going to hop on into the window of the office, and NVK is there to take him out for the count. 3 on 4, 25 seconds left to go. Now, Gurmy's job this entire time has been outside on the north windows. He just needs to hold it, see if the diffuser can get planted. There is no pulse to determine that's going to be planted there. So Fox tags on to 1 kill. However, we do see Brian getting taken out by Necrox without diffuser getting planted. And there's going to be a push here from Fox. He's going to snag another kill. Looks as though we are going to have another one down with 5 seconds left to go. He pushes around, tags one, but gets hit from behind, and we're going to have the defenders Continuum win this round, and it's now 4-2. Still match point, still series point here for eXcellence Gaming.
So what we saw from eXcellence there is a little bit disappointing, I have to say. They slowed down their game. Because they slowed down their game, they entered the realm of Continuum, which is the slow, the strategy, the just taking the fights one at a time, and it cost them, surely. That's why now they're putting themselves in a pretty bad situation. If they allow Continuum to walk away with their lead and start this comeback, we will almost certainly see map number 3. So once Continuum starts the comeback, they don't finish the comeback till they win.
Agreed. So the comeback has been started. Will they prove us right?
Well, if they get one more round.
One more.
If they get one more round, the momentum's just going to keep on keeping on. eXcellence, though, they have a good position or good opportunity here, so to speak. Get themselves back in things and not blow their lead, not get into OT.
So this is eXcellence's secondary bomb site against what would presumably be a favorable attack site.
Yeah, I think Continuum, this was the first round that they managed to win, was on this particular attack. So we could see 3-4. It's entirely possible, but if we do see 3-4, the thing is, eXcellence will have another opportunity to defend the top floor, I think.
We will be heading to Continuum holding downstairs.
Yeah. Yep. We'll be heading to Continuum holding downstairs, you're right. So they won't actually have another opportunity to defend the armory and to put themselves into the, to lock out this match. They'll be Continuum defending basement, and then that'll be the opportunity, the last opportunity for eXcellence to keep themselves out of OT.
We do have Brian and Geo both tucked away on the east side of servers. One reinforcement wall is going to protect them from the wall bangs.
Continuum's just kind of situating themselves outside the site right now, going for that east teller's take. No real surprises here. Doesn't look like they're applying as much pressure. Oh, no!
Oh, Fox getting one, gonna get another! Fox! It's gonna get another over the balcony, and he will swing on into the reception area and be taken out by Necrox.
Now you can attribute that solely and wholly to the fact that Continuum did not apply enough pressure to the top floor, similar to how they did in the previous rounds. Because of that, Foxay was just allowed to get that nice double kill out.
That spells disaster.
Yeah, and my man, meanwhile, picking up Necrox, trading it back. Now it's a 2 versus 4. They'd have to do something pretty incredible here to keep themselves in this match and this, well, yeah, this match as a whole.
I would say it's possible. Oh, looks like Gio gets tagged. Not able to see him himself. However, Gio will fall a 3-on-2.
There's still tons of time for the attackers, and having this glass with smoke grenades, you're going to be able to work these angles.
They've used all their smokes.
Oh no.
And Jarvis, playing the Thermite, having his smoke grenades removed and given flashbangs instead.
No smokes at all, which means it's all going to come down to one-on-one, or, well, fights in general.
Yeah.
No advantage for the attackers. But still tons of time.
What it's going to come down to is not necessarily holding a hard angle, but going for a quick peek to figure out, can I get glass? Peek on out, can I get glass? Peek on out, can I get glass? That's what it's going to come down to. My man's actually going to try to come up from a flank from the customs. And
oh, they have a defender above still. Oh, no.
Oh, rip. 40 seconds left to go, a 3-on-2. Jarvis is going to expose himself. Kirby's still above, the diffuser there, and he's going to have my man tagging a double kill. And that's going to be excellent here. Just doing a fantastic job taking out Continuum in this first play-day.
Okay, so what have we learned from this match right off the bat?
Respect excellence.
Respect excellence, yes. Now, I have to be honest. Now, we were talking about earlier, is Continuum the team that we've seen them be in the previous seasons, winning the Invitational, winning Season 3? Or is it just really that they're really good, you know, they're a strong team, but excellence is just as good. They are a team that are definitely shining through here. What I saw from excellence, I don't want to besmirch Continuum at all, because Continuum played well. They played their common game. We played the way that I expected them to play, and then strategically, again, they won a lot of rounds that they ended up losing because excellence did excellence things, and they played to their strengths, and it shined through.
And so, like with excellence, you